In this first line, he uses the imperative or fill me. By doing so, it suggests that he feels empty, and that could reflect the emptiness of the world he's about to be born into. Is in humanity has lost its direction and purpose. He is pleading for strength to resist a terrible onslaught. It could be empty in the sense that everyone has lost their identity, their sense of purpose, their emotions, because instead they're all just playing their part in society and just following what maybe the fascist leaders or the bureaucrats tell them to do. So they don't have the sense of their own being and their own purpose. Okay, here we've got the about those that would freeze my humanity, and that he would be a lethal automaton. So here they've got a metaphor of him almost becoming a machine. Society is being dehumanized. Individuals have lost their identity and their sense of self. Like I've already just said, they're just fulfilling the purpose that society gives them. And if that's alluding to war, who can blame the unborn child for being terrified to be born into that world? If you don't know what this is, then search a picture. It also reminds me of like a robot, as in, imagine the world all just being, positions being taken by robots. Okay, if people who served you in the shop were robots, if your teachers were robots, where would that social element come into it? Again, he says he would just be a cog in a machine. So again, a sense of having not no purpose, because it's society that had given them the purpose, but not one that he would want or wish for. He has just been told what to do. And being just a cog in the machine means, as in, he doesn't have his own identity. He's just another number. If you think of all the poems that we've been doing that allude to war, that you've done, whether it's this year or years previously, normally the soldier in it is unnamed. It's just another he. It doesn't even tell us where the war is. It's just a sense that they've had all of their identity stripped away from them. So they're just another number. They're just another person there to be fighting this war. Or just another number added to the death. Them as individuals are not important. They're just a thing, a face, a thing. Okay, so we've got the repetition of this. Again, to show how he's been dehumanized. And again, all those that would dissipate my entirety. Okay, so again, talking about being stripped of his identity, his oneness. It talks about him being lost, and he would blow away like thistledown. I've got a picture here, but you can't see. You'll probably have seen them before, but it's like a flower, but I'd say it's more like a weed, where if you blow on them, they just float away. Okay, they're very, very fragile. So is he talking about how his fragility in society before he's even born? The word thistledown is soft and quick, reflecting the meaning. The pace quickens with the repetition of imitating a soft substance blown about helplessly. It loses shape and direction and is easily manipulated, just how he feels. Okay, we've got on the last couple of lines, like water held in the hands would spill me. Again, we have this sense of him being lost in his life. His identity is so fragile that it's just going to slip through somebody's hands like water. There's just a complete carelessness. So I've got here simile. Speaker believes that he would be mishandled by corrupt people, would lose his conscience and free agency. He has to be provided with water in stanza 3. No, when I said in stanza 3, it's the most hopeful part, where he's talking about nature and he does ask for water. Now, though, the water is being spilled. If water is a symbol of life, of cleansing and freedom, now that has been spilt. Okay, there is a complete sense of hopelessness in that. And then for the final two lines, let not them make me a stone, and let them not spill me, otherwise kill me. Okay, so again, I think it ends in a strong sense of hopelessness. And still through the course of this poem, it doesn't sound like he's, well, what does he ask for? To be consoled, for people to hear him, to fill him. It doesn't seem like he's gained anything through the course of this poem. Instead, it's saying if these things can't happen, if this is what the world will become, then otherwise just kill me. I mean, what a bleak image of an unborn child being so terrified of the world and what it has become that they would rather not be born at all. I mean, it couldn't really paint society much worse. Let them not make me into stone. Okay, so again, the image of a stone. If you think we've just been saying about how he's going to become a cog in a machine, to lose his identity, again, this adds to that. Make me not a stone, where, like, think of the idiom about being stone-hearted, having no sense of humanity, of care, compassion, empathy, any emotions. The being born into this world, I'm just going to have much emotion as a stone. Since he's just going to be cold. If that's the case, then he would rather not be born. And again, we've got this line, let them not spill me. By using the verb spill, he could be talking about the blood that has been lost. If we're thinking that this is alluding to war, all of the way through, really, he alludes to that. In the first line, he talks about the blood-sucking bat. Then he talks about bloodbaths. So he might be talking about, like, let this not continue and let all this blood be spilt. With innocent soldiers losing their lives. Not innocent in the sense that they're killing people, but if they're being lured there, if they're being manipulated by leaders and it's out of their control, then arguably are they innocent? Or is he talking about the water not being spilt? Again, if we're talking about how that could symbolise life and cleansing, to not let that carelessly drip through your fingers. Here, I don't just think he's talking about him, where he's saying spill me, but more that representing the whole of humanity, and not to be spilt. That could be reflecting the role of men in the war and how easily their lives were lost.